Hello, welcome back. My name's Adrian, and this is some tutorials on how I'm actually doing a chicken today. I'm going to be roasting it on the, smoking it on my barbecue kettle a little bit later. The idea of today is really to give the opportunity for anyone to actually have a shot at this smoking, and to also show that you don't necessarily need super expensive equipment. Okay, last Easter when I did my pork and brisket and the wings, I actually used my big smoker. I used my pellet smoker. You know, and obviously not everyone's able to, especially at the time at the moment, about to go out and just get that sort of equipment like that. So this is going to be really simple today. I'm purposely using just my basic kettle barbecue that most people have, or you probably know someone who has it. They're very, very cheap to buy. Your Weber brand's a bit more expensive than the others, but the one I've got, I paid around 60 bucks for it. And the other thing I'm really going to be using is a thermometer that I paid about $20 for, and a chimney, a chimney starter. They're around $15 to $20. So for, you know, under $100, you can actually start trying out the smoking process for yourself. So that's what we're doing today. And today is all about family, food and fun. And I think particularly with this whole coronavirus epidemic, that's the one thing that's really taught me at the moment, what's really important in life. And that's your friends, your family. And if you've got a passion for something, like I've got a real passion for doing food, then you're going to get better at it because you just want to keep doing it. And food brings people together, it makes people happy. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is, I want to actually do a brine for a chicken. Now, brine can be a little bit confronting, I guess, if you're not used to it, or if you haven't done it before, but don't be worried. It's a really, really simple process. This is a super simple recipe. The idea of brining your chicken is to put the juice and moisture back into the chicken when you're actually cooking. It's not so much flavour, there's a little bit of flavouring in there. It isn't like marinating. Marinating is more the flavour side of things, which I will do later. But this is about making sure this chicken has heaps and heaps of juice and moisture in it. So when you cook it, it's not going to dry out. Okay, so I've got a esky here, and I've filled the esky with around 4 litres of warm water. You can't see the warm water, but trust me, there's 4 litres in there. And it's warm water. Okay, now the reason it's warm is we need all these ingredients to actually dissolve, particularly the first two. So the first two is 3/4 cup of kosher salt, which I'm just going to put in now. Alright. We're looking at 2/3 of sugar. The sugar is going to basically effectively offset the salt a little bit, so because you don't want your chicken to be really, really salty. You want a little bit of salt in there, absolutely. You want that salt to help with the moisture in there, to keep it moist, but you don't want a lot of salt. Soy sauce, 3/4 cup of this, like so. And then you've got the last ingredient, which is 1/4 cup of olive oil. So I'm going to pour that in now as well. Now the reason we're doing it warm to start with is when we mix this, we want the salt, we want the sugar to actually dissolve in here. So this is, like I was saying, I just cleaned my esky. You want to make sure you've got a really clean esky, particularly internally. Soap and water, get it clean, dry it out before you use this, because this is where the chicken's going to be sitting. Okay, so I've just stirred it a little bit. Right, that's looking good. That'll dissolve in no time. And then by the time we've done this, it's probably going to get close to room temperature so we can put the chickens in here. So, now with the chickens, I'm going to do what's known as spatchcocking the chickens. So basically why I'll spatchcock the chickens is it allows it to cook a bit more evenly. So your whole chickens, you can put these in whole, they're going to be fine like this, but I like to spatchcock for the reason that your chicken, you'll see it when I lay it out, it's a lot flatter, it's going to cook a lot more evenly on your barbecue. So with the spatchcock, what you want to do is you basically want to remove the backbone here, so this part here. So you need a really, really good pair of scissors, actual chicken clippers. I got these from a supermarket. So I think I paid probably about 10 bucks for these. These are really, really good though. So they even come with a bottle opener, so if you want a beer while you're cooking, that's extremely essential. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're just going to go, when we cut this, we're going to go up the back side of the chicken here. We want to go up each side. And actually, that's a good way of actually knowing where to cut. Now, it's going to crack a bit when you do this, because you're cutting through bone. And my wife's just cringing here. It's alright, I'm not making a horror movie. Alright, like so. So that's the one part of it off. Then we just want to get to the other side of where the chicken's backside is here. And we're going to repeat the same process. So probably heard the bone cracking. Alright, like so. Alright, I just throw this out. Alright, the backbone. I'm just laughing because my wife's just cringing here. So then what we want to do, we want to lay this chicken out flat. So we want to flip it over like this, find the middle and basically press it down. Give it some gyro treatment, like that. Alright, you can hear it crunching. Alright, now that's nice and flat. Alright, so that chicken, when we cook it, that's going to cook much more evenly on the cooker. So you see, hopefully you can notice, so this is the whole chicken, this is once a spatchcock. So it was very flat. Alright, so now this is ready to go in the brine. Alright, and I'll brine this for probably a good 4 to 5 hours. Again, you don't want to over brine this. If you do it, the more you brine, the more salt you're getting into the chicken. Now you want salt in the chicken, but again, you don't want to overdo this, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'll do the second chicken now, and then I'm just going to put it in the brine. I'm going to close the lid, and this is just going to sit here for about 4.5 to 5 hours. Once it gets to room temperature, I'm going to put some ice in here, a couple of ice packs, just to keep it cool, because ideally you can actually keep this in the fridge while it's brining. You want to keep this cool. Okay, so because people like us, my fridge isn't big enough to put 2 brine chickens in, this is what I do. Put some ice cubes in there. The Esky is going to keep it cool. It's not going to go dangerous. You're still going to have that cold temperature in there for about 4 to 5 hours. Alright, so that's what I'm about to do next. So we're going to cut it up, put it in here, put a few ice cubes in, and actually some ice packs, and we're just going to leave it there for 5 hours. Okay, so next time you see me, I'll show you how I'm going to set up my kettle barbecue for the cook itself. Alright, thank you very much. See you soon.